strange guy, but he's a smart wrestler, and he usually does just enough to win. You'd be surprised at the ways this guy can come up with wins.
Yeah, but he's up against a superior athlete in the shape of Gary Steele.
See Gary Steele not above pulling those long, luxurious curls that Synn's boasting.
Well, I think our referee, JJ Rivers, was a little bit quick coming in there at that particular point.
Well, he's got to be quick, because John Hall is like watching ice move down a glacier.
John Hall knows the game. JJ Rivers, your American guy. Staying on top of it now, because this is all Gary. And I would guess, actually, Mike, this is a battle in which all Gary is a phrase that will run right through to the bitter end.
Well, I'm sure with you it will. Like I said, Gary Steele can wrestle. He was the NWA World Champion, but it was a lucky win, and he hasn't had much good competition wrestling in Britain. Now he's up against real wrestlers, and we'll have to see what he can do.
Well, he's up against a man in the exceptionally slippery uniform, very wise, except he's like a bar of soap for Gary down there. Couldn't get hold of him.
I mean, Gary's a British wrestler. He doesn't see much soap, you know, once a week in the tin tub.
I mean, look, we're only just a couple of minutes into this battle already, and look, it's just all still, Mike. I mean, you must know that. You can see that from where we're sitting here. Gary Steele all the way.
Well, like I said, Synn's a funny wrestler. It sometimes takes him a long time to get into a match, and he doesn't really seem to do very much, but he can come up with wins. So missed that spinning kick, and Gary Steele lands a big elbow coming off.
Well, he's taking plenty of hits. He's doing that very well, Mike. I have to be said, it's Gary all the way.
It's a slow start, that's all. You know, guys just came off the plane. They're jet lagged. It takes a while to get going.
That's your excuse, is it? Okay, well, I'll trust you on that. Yeah, Gary's working away, yes. He's going to straighten out those curls for him if he can. And look, there's the base of our well, that's how we stand at this point. It is the commissioner
of the Transatlantic Wrestling Challenge.
He's keeping on top of the game. This is the man who knows the rules. He made the rules, and he's just making sure it's a good, clean fight. And you can't believe just how easily Gary is winning this fight. I'm sure that's what's going through his mind at the moment.
I wonder why he was out there, though. Do you think maybe he's checking on JJ Rivers, the referee he brought in from the States?
Well, I wouldn't care to speculate about such things, Mike, because that would imply a certain impropriety on the Americans.
Well, I mean, the commissioner is there supposedly to make sure everything works out fine. There's Synn. Synn's getting back into this match now.
The commissioner is out there because he wants to make sure that when he sees his grandchildren, what happens is he said, I was there when I saw the change. Once again, Gary getting himself on. He's got the crowd with him. He's got the points in the bag. This is a great start for what has to be said is our #1 contender for this title.
Takes down Synn from the headlock. Synn has spent a lot of time down on the mat.
Now, what does Synn actually do trying to get himself back into
See the reversal there with the head scissors? Got Gary Synn the head scissors, and this is going to hurt him.
Okay, I'm liking it, but it's the first time I've seen him actually do anything apart from suffering, Mike.
Well, like I said, it took him a while to get acclimated. Jet lag takes over. Synn doing just enough to stay in the match.
And I do believe just seeing his mouth there, that not only is he going to need a doctor at the end of this bout, perhaps a dentist as well wouldn't go missing.
He's got about as many teeth as your toothless British lion.
Gary back on top where he's been for this entire bout, and I think we're on our way to our first serious victory here for our #1 contender.
I suppose Gary Steele's got a full Austin Powers set of teeth. Good British choppers.
Well, as you can see, he's a very fine slab of British beef, and he's exactly the kind of man to be taking wrestling and working as an ambassador abroad. Did you feel that, Mike? I know I did.
Nice drop kick by Gary Steele.
And I know Synn did.
But Synn kicks out. He's still waiting. He's waiting a bit too long now. We're in the last minute of the match. Synn really needs to do something now.
Yeah, exactly. But what, Mike? We've seen him make one move so far on Gary, and Gary's smiled all the way through it, I seem to recall.
Well, Gary hasn't hurt Synn much. He's dominated the match, but Synn's been hanging in there.
Well, JJ's keeping a close look on that face now. Now that hurts, doesn't it? That's a face of pain.
That was before the paint went on.
And this is Gary going for the big finish inside. No, just pulled out. Just a few seconds left now. Gary's absolutely walked his way through this particular fight.
Synn going into the crucifix now. Gary Synn kicks out again.
Yeah, the 3 points would have been great, but if this goes all the way, it's 2 in the bag for Gary Steele. Great start for his challenge.
Synn may have left it too long.
There you go, 2 points in the bag for
Oh,
Gary
after
Steele.
the bell, that's a cruel blow. That's bad sportsmanship.
I think that just puts a final flourish on what was a fabulous victory.